to the Advisor Marketing Mastery Podcast with Mark E. Gaffney. This podcast is your front row seat to the proven frameworks, strategies, and the insights that have propelled thousands of financial professionals to the top of their field since 2003. The show starts right now.
Hi, and welcome to a very special edition of Advisor Marketing Mastery. We're going off the cuff today, Jerry. We got a ton of questions. We're going to talk about some great stuff, but today is going to be all about seminars. All the questions we get, I shouldn't say all, the vast majority of questions that we receive, and I'm going to go over some of them today, are about seminars. Seminars are the number one way financial advisors create production and revenue, period, end of story, okay? And there are so many questions, and I know advisors want to get it right, and sometimes they don't. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things today. Jerry, by the way, is the Senior Vice President of Sales at Leading Response. We go way back. And I know I started in 2008, Jerry. You started when?
2005.
2005. So you got a couple years on me, and I'm sure a bunch more seminar campaigns as well. So I would tell everyone at home, I lost track at 3,000 or 4,000 seminar campaigns. Jerry's probably double that. I don't know if you've got a better source of credible information for your seminars than what we're going to go over today. So grab a pen, grab paper, ask questions. Jerry, we did a podcast. It generated a ton of questions, so I've got them here today. But let's go rapid fire right now. I'll start out on some of these questions here. They're shorties. We shorten them up for this. I know they're going to lead to other things because that's what you and I do. So let me just break the ice right now with what seminar topics actually convert today.
So the topics that convert best are the ones that are most relevant to the audience. So think of it this way. If we have a person that's going into retirement and they don't know how to generate lasting income, well, marketing content and seminar content that's specific to that topic is going to capture their attention. However, if I have someone that owns real estate, for instance, and you put marketing content about real estate investing and how to defer taxes, well, that's extremely relevant to that audience. And the conversion is going to be correlated exactly to those fits.
Yeah, you bring up a great point here. And I talk to advisors about this all the time. I say your headline, got to punch them in the mouth. That's what's going to get me to read, because chances are, Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong here, as Americans, we're going to scan read this, right? Top to bottom, left to right. That's how we're going to read this. I need a headline that's going to catch my attention. Then all the bullets after are triggers for different people to say yes to the event. Fair statement?
Fair statement. Offer comes first. That's what gets the attention. And then 80% of your content relevancy comes from your headline. Everything else is reinforcing.
Love it. You got a question for me?
I do have a question for you, Mark. Let's say, how many attendees do I need for a seminar to be profitable?
Okay. So I'm going to give you my philosophy on this. It is very simple. Rack them, pack them, and stack them. If I have a restaurant that has 40 seats, I want 40 people in there. And I'll get a little pushback at times from folks like, oh, but people aren't going to be comfortable. I'm like, hey, you're putting up somewhere between $12,000 and $15,000 to do these two beautiful events at Ruth's, Chris, Fleming's, Morton's, whatever it's going to be. I've been to them. Nobody complains that they were a little tight. Not a singular person in the whole world. If I want to be profitable, the numbers, it's a numbers game. I want 40 people in my 40-person room, not 24, 28, or 32, because you think everyone's going to be comfortable. That comfort piece does not equate into me checking yes on the response sheet. In fact, I'd make the argument, Jerry, that 40 people in a 40-person room, people look around and they say, this advisor commands respect. This advisor must be something special. Look at this. It's standing room only in here. So for me, there isn't a number, but there is what is the max room capacity? And I'm going to mail to fill that. Should I be doing educational workshops or I love this one, by the way. And I love what this study, so I'm going to ask you to do it. I ain't trying to steal your thunder. Dinner seminars, college classes.
So this is one of the most common questions that we get because they've been around for 25, 30 years. And it is truly interesting. So we had an advisor that in the same area, targeting the same demographic audience, went in and marketed dinner events one week, And then a couple weeks later, we'd go back to that same audience and do the same thing for library classes and college classes. And what we found is he generated 44,000 plus prospects in a span of 9 years doing this exact approach. And we found that less than 10%, only 9.7% of the universe will attend both formats. So that means you have really distinct audiences, Mark. You have people that go to dinner events and you have people that go to educational workshops. And I know that one of the other topics that we talk about all the time is webinars. That's a distinct audience as well. We just don't have a 9-year case study on it. So it's exciting. If you really want to maximize the output of your market, you really need to do both.
And here's why, from a marketing standpoint, why I think that's utterly important. People say, oh, I'm fatiguing out. My numbers are going down. I'm like, when you do both, the college people don't go to the dinner seminar. The dinner seminar folks don't go to the college classes. Only 10% bleed over. You just established a brand new audience for you. And if you're doing the dinner seminars, don't be afraid of the college classes. These college classes come completely done. Curriculum, invite, data, workbook, all of it. So you just follow along with that. Now, on the other way around, if you're doing a college class, I tell people, guess what? Now what took you 2 days and 2+ hours each night, you can do in 45 to 55 minutes. All we have to do is condense down the things that you like the most into a slide deck that works for you. I love it when they do both.
Let me jump back in here for a second, because I think it's also important to talk about expectations for these programs. And I'm going to make a comparison to the financial advisor's role and what they do for their client. You know, you have different financial instruments like annuities and life insurance and estate planning and assets under management, all these different things. Marketing is no different. You have tools and programs that you can deploy to generate successful outcomes. So your dinner events are likely going to produce a different outcome than your educational workshops. But as long as they're profitable and you're not at capacity, you should be doing a bunch of different tools. It diversifies your risk and it puts you in a position to maximize the output from your market.
Yeah. In particular, if you're one of those advisors that's going to do, Jerry, here's what I tell my clients. If you want to play this game, which is the live event world, you need to be doing a minimum of 10 campaigns a year. Let me explain campaign. That is an invitation with 2 events in it. That's either 2 dinner seminars or 2 sets of college classes, okay? 10 campaigns. If you mix that up a little bit, you're never going to fatigue your market. Ever, never, never. You're going to have fresh faces all the time. Fair statement?
Really, 100% a fair statement.
And then kick the webinars in the mix, which we're not really talking about today, but I think it's important for people to know that, holy cow, Leading Response has amazing webinar performance, amazing webinar products and services that, forgive me, Jerry, they're tremendously underutilized by advisors today. And I think there's a general fear piece. I know I'm getting off the topic right now. Client of ours, mutual client out of Connecticut, was doing the meal delivery to webinar. Take a minute and talk about that because it blows my mind.
It's different. When we were impacted by COVID, like the entire world, and as an event marketing company, we had to come up with another way to support our clients and stay in business, frankly. So we dived in, we did social media advertising, email marketing like everyone else did. And no matter what we did, we could only get 40 to 50% of the signups to show up. And our clients who are accustomed to live events doing 85, 90% attendance rates, they're disappointed. So we said, you know what, let's try something different. We have direct mail as an instrument. Let's sending out, we have this partnership with Fleming's and they're looking to drive revenue and they're willing to deliver food. So let's put all this stuff together. We know dinner seminars work when there's an offer, there's a great meal, and driving it through direct mail. So we modeled that and we started sending invitations in the mail targeted around the delivery zone of what Fleming's was able to do. And they delivered food, 30 minutes before the webinar, the delivery driver showing up, hey, here's your meal. There's no better reminder than some person showing up on your doorstep with your food that you selected. And the audience started signing in for the webinar at 90+%.
Jerry, we've got to underline this because the whole plate liquor mentality thing, which we're going to cover here in a little bit, it's one of my favorite topics in the whole world. You know that. 90%. And by the way, with this gentleman that we were doing with him, these were all high asset homes. We started at 500 and then we're able to do it at $1 million. So he was targeting exclusively homes with $1 million of investable assets and up, maxing out. Like if there were 20 available slots to be delivered for food, 20, 20, 22, 20 all the time.
It works better in the affluent segment. Why? Because we're always on Zoom and in virtual meetings. So affluent people, wealthy people tend to be white collar occupations and they're comfortable in a virtual environment.
So I got to tell you a funny story. So I'm going to call this advisor John Smith. That's not his name. John texts me because we had set this up. This was like his 5th or 6th campaign. And it simply says, "Hey, Mark, I got 6 appointments from the last webinar we did." I'm like, John, that's wonderful. Great. Like a big upbeat because it's awesome. But with 20, so $20 million household, 6 appointments. So I want to put it in perspective for a moment. He goes, you don't get it. I'm in Costa Rica with my family. I'm not there. This whole thing in the autopilot is working without me. And I want advisors to take that in for a moment, okay? Because there are a lot of time vampires out there. Live seminars is one. You have to be away from your family during the evenings. College classes is another. They're time vampires, but they make a lot of money, okay? What if we could add into that mix, Jerry, doing some of these webinars? And what we did with this gentleman is we took him to our TV studio, recorded his 45-minute seminar. It looks gorgeous. 3 cams, sound engineer, hair, makeup, lighting, the whole thing. And it looks so live when you turn it on. It's perfect. So,
and then you use it over and over.
Over and over.
Right? Scale.
Over and over and over. And you don't have to be there. All right. Come on. Ask me a hard question. You got what?
What should I budget for a seminar for it to be successful?
Okay. Here's the premise. When we work with someone, the criteria we use to accept them as a client, one of those is they must understand that marketing is an investment, not an expenditure, right? When I have an investment, which is a very easy concept for financial advisors to understand, there is an expectation that that investment will bring revenue. I'll get a return on that investment, okay? So let's start with that premise. When you view it as an expenditure, you're going to put all these things into a line item and start line iteming out the things that you feel are unnecessary. You, a financial advisor, not an experienced marketing professional necessarily, and you've watered down and you're wondering why it's not happening. So we do everything top shelf every time, top shelf data, top shelf invite, top shelf venue, top shelf materials, period. Because my clients, like most of your clients, Jerry, they want high net worth couples and individuals. So my answer to this question is, if you want high net worth couples and individuals, you're looking at 12 to 15,000 per campaign. So that is a very fair, rarely above 15, almost never below 12. Okay, that number depends on how many seats you have, and which will dictate the amount of mail and the amount of food you have to serve. So 12 to 15,000, all in. Food, mail, materials. Sorry.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, here's one I got for you, Jerry. How do I increase show-up rates after people register for the event?
So the first thing is you have to call them. That is, you have to start building the relationship. And a lot of advisors and their staff go, when do I jump in the process? How do I make this work? And the confirmation process, building the relationship before the event happens, is one of the best places. Now, in our RSVP system, as people make the registration, we ask them, is there a particular topic that you're looking to hear about at the event? So this is a great icebreaker for the staff. Call, thank them for making that registration, and say, hey, I noticed that you asked about, or you wanted more information on Social Security. If we can get John to cover a little bit more about that, is that something that we have your guaranteed, you're coming to the event, we have your commitment. And, if you're personalizing the experience and you're investing a little bit more time for them, they're going to show up. And then you follow that up. Hey, we're going to be back in touch probably a few days before the event. Lock in your meal selections. You can have an ongoing communication sequence leading into the event, and it's going to make them sticky with you.
Agreed. I'll go one step further, because I think that there's a little bit of miscommunication at times with the advisory firm and the mail house, who does what. So, let me ask you this, kind of a follow-up. do you guys, and I hate the term mail house, Jerry, you know I hate that because you guys are a brilliant marketing company at leading response in so many facets. But when somebody calls in, does the operator grab their phone number and email? Clearly, they have the address already.
So we ask them for a phone number and an email address, and then we also ask them with permission to text. So if they opt in for text message, we do send text message and email confirmations from our system. However, automation doesn't replace that personal touch.
Agreed. So you guys they'll get a text. Is it one text? Is it two texts? Is it one email? Is it two emails?
We have a process that once the consumer confirms, it takes them out of the sequence.
Gotcha. Beautiful. So then for the client, our mutual client, they need to have somebody trained in office to do these calls. And what we recommend is that, you have a script that you work from so you don't miss any detail. This should not be off the cuff. It should be a set person that's doing this and a set person that's receiving this. It's not whoever picks up the phone does this and that, because that's a terrible formula for looking inordinately disorganized before someone even comes out. So scripting, which we have scripting, if someone wants it, then call us when we give them that script. And to make sure that if you don't get them on the phone, that you leave a message for them. And I would say even text again, okay? And here's the part that I really love. We've trained our advisors to send a email with a video in it that is custom to the event. In other words, it'll be up there to say, hi, we have our event coming up on the 11th at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. This is just a kind message to remind you, this is the one on Route 4 behind the thing with all that. We start promptly at 6:30. Make sure you get there at 6:15 for best seating. And ladies, I just want to let you know ahead of time, the room is cool. So please bring a jacket or a sweater, and you'll do all these like nice little touch points on there. And you'll tell them a couple little advice pieces. And then it wraps up with, if you have any questions about the event, give me a call and we'll handle it. But here's the nice part. That person recording the video should not be the advisor.
Agreed.
It's the person who's going to man the registration table. Because this group that we started doing with, or the one I have the most feedback on, she's told me, Mark, almost every event, multiple times, someone says, oh, I loved your video. Now we're starting that relationship bridge, I call it, before they even come in. They're already recognizing people. They're already feeling comfortable with everything. Listen. Doing more revenue from your events is a process of connecting a lot of little dots. If you're willing to make the effort to connect all these little dots, your outcome will be phenomenal. Jerry, you and I have seen it over and over. If they're willing to do best practices, pregame, game day, postgame, they can. And I have so many examples, and I love to show them, of advisors, and I mean good advisors, that are making money from their events, that are at times 57% increase, 80% increase, 2x, 100+% increase, simply by utilizing data-driven best practices through the entire process.
It's amazing what a small change can do on down the funnel with those metrics. I would say, one other thing, you mentioned a script for the staff. Don't make it robotic. It's a script. Think of it as compulsories, right?
Are you coming to the event?
Yeah, there's
we
things
have you
in
down
that,
for the 11th.
If that person's going to be working the registration table, it would make sense. If you hear a dog bark in the background, ask them what kind of dog they have. There could be common ground. Well, I have a dog too. Oh, it's the same breed. What's the dog's name? Oh, it's Charlie. You have a CRM. Put that stuff in there because, when you go to the event and the Johnsons come in and you're like, hey, how's Charlie?
Blow their mind. Mind blown.
It's the Dale Carnegie.
Yep.
The amount of personalization that you're putting into your process.
Agreed.
It wows them. It's the wow factor.
Total wow. Today's episode is being brought to you by MEG, where marketing mastery meets elite advisor success. Since 2013, we've helped thousands of advisors break through plateaus and hit their biggest production of revenue goals with precision targeted marketing, high converting advertising, and expert consulting. Whether you're running seminars, hosting webinars, looking to dominate on TV or radio, or just want your marketing to finally get dialed in, MEG does it all. We're a full-service agency built specifically for financial advisors who are ready to stop dabbling in marketing and start dominating with it. Here's the part you don't want to miss. I'm inviting you to book a 15-minute intro Zoom with me personally. Yes, me, not a team member, not a staff member, directly with me. We call it the $1 Million Zoom because it's packed with the kind of insights that can shift the trajectory of your business fast. No pressure, no obligation, 100% complimentary. In just 15 minutes, you'll see exactly how we can bring all your marketing under one roof, tailor it to your brand, and drive real results. Just head over to markedwardgaffney.com. That's markedwardgaffney.com and grab your spot now. MEG, we're your all-in-one marketing powerhouse. All right, back to the show. All right, Jerry, great questions today. I want to focus the balance of our time on this amazing event series that Leading Response is doing. Now, we did them together years ago, pre-COVID. COVID kind of stopped it. And finally, Jerry, right? I'm very excited. It's all been brought back. We did our first one in December. Utterly amazing.
It was great.
It was phenomenal. Speakers great, crowd great. You know what I love, Jerry? Like all the learning that happens and the people smiling and the light bulb going off like, oh, that's how I do it. That's how it's done. Tell me a little about this event.
So it's all about growth and taking your business to the next level. And there's a huge focus on seminars because the number one way that advisors generate revenue is live events, whether it's dinners or educational workshops. There's great third-party data by Track That Advisor that supports that. I've seen there's a new annual study coming in February. I've already seen some of the data, and it's not such a departure from the year prior. Seminars right up there with referrals. So really excited to have this event. It's going to be March 18th, 19th, and 20th, again at Leading Response headquarters. It's just content, session after session, breaking down how to take your business to the next level.
There are 50 seats, that's it. And we jammed it out because we figured, someday we'd have some follow-up. We didn't have a lot of follow-up. So we had to, last minute, get extra people, get extra chairs. We had office chairs. They weren't like the standard chairs to get everybody in there. I'm going to give that website right now that you can, first of all, get the information that you want. It's in Tampa, Florida, that we're doing this one at Leading Response headquarters. It's leadingresponse.com/summit. All the information you'll need to register, get your questions answered, will be right there. 3 days, okay? The first night, the Wednesday night, which is the 18th, is a meet and greet. We do a bunch of networking. The last one was really, really fun, okay? Such great people come out for this. I love financial advisors. Then the 19th is the money day. We are 9 in the morning to 5 at night. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff, including a full seminar to show advisors. We're not just going to tell you, you need to do this and you need to do that. You're going to see a full seminar of how it gets done. And then half day on Friday, 9 to 12, so people can take their flight or drive back to wherever they're going. Let me ask you this, Jerry. What would you say for you was the number one takeaway? Like, this is the feedback I got, and I'm really happy about that we're able to answer these questions for advisors.
Without fail, every single time we've done this, I think it's the mock seminar delivers the absolute most value. You get all of this information packed into the course, but actually seeing it in action, getting to experience what the consumer experiences, and then having the presenter go in and out of character, explaining why they do what they do. I mean, I've seen 20 summits at this point, and every single time I see one of those mock presentations, I take something away.
Yeah.
Or I remember something that I forgot.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important to be successful. You do have to have that repetition and that practice. And somebody, even Tiger Woods and all these professional golfers, they have coaches to help them see things that, they're blind to being in their business. And this is a great way to do that.
Yeah. Because we're both presenting. And there's a third presenter where I'm going to have you talk about. We might even have a fourth presenter this go around in March. But what I love is solving the problem for an advisor, because they're like, hey, this is off. And we'll start asking some questions. And then I'll say, well, have you considered doing this way? Never thought of that before. And ding, light bulb goes on. And sometimes it's just as simple as that. It's one little domino in the whole thing that makes you more successful. Conversely, too many advisors are doing things that are harming their return on investment They don't know they're doing it, but they've done it that way for so long. They've kind of gotten into an autopilot. I just do it like this every time. I'm making money, Jerry. Most times I'm making money. But what if you could fix all those things? And here's the thing that I have a hard time getting across, because I say it over and over and I show the examples, but I still see like a modicum of eye rolling. And that is, you can double your revenue from your seminars than what you did the year before by making small changes. And I think there's this, well, then I have to do twice as many seminars and I have to get twice as many people. No, you don't. If across the board in these 3 or 4 areas, and I'll talk, we talk about them.
Yep.
Okay. Number 1, I get more qualified people to show up. And by more, I'm talking like 20%. Okay. If I had 4 to 6 more people come to each event, then at each event, I was able to increase by 10% or 10% plus the amount of households that booked an appointment. And then showing up to the office, if I got that 10 to 20% higher, okay, which out of 10 people that sign up, you're at like 5, we can get that to 6 or 7. That alone is so close to 2xing your output, your revenue. That's all you need to do.
And it goes beyond that. We cover techniques on how to keep the audience engaged past the seminar. So, one of the data points that Track That Advisor shows in their upcoming study, February, it is that the seminar conversion is taking
Jerry,
longer.
I'm jealous that you got to see it before I did. They're my friends too over there.
I got to see it.
Yeah.
It's taking longer for consumers to make the decision. So advisors are measuring their ROI before the full ROI is coming in off of the events. And, as you said, if you get at every step of the funnel, you get a little bit better, it has exponential. I mean,
It's hockey stick.
One client could be $800,000 or $700,000 in asset. If you get one extra client from your campaign throughout the year, that's a massive windfall of money coming into your firm, both in assets that you're bringing in and revenue that you're generating for your business.
Jerry, I got to talk about that for a moment, because one of my favorite things are the whales that just show up. And I'm talking the 5.7 million, the 14 million, the 11.5 million. Year after year after year, with my smallest clients and my biggest clients, they get these. Now, there can't be an expectation that everyone coming in is like that, but they happen. And the only way that you're going to get in front of them is through an event, because something in that mailer said to that person, I need to get this information. I like what this advisor's all about, and I'm going to show up and I'm just going to listen to what they have to say, because I'm in the market for an advisor's products and services without fail every year. Can I do side note for a moment, Jerry? I like to do sides.
Let's do it.
All right. When we talk to our clients and we do analysis of who they're going after, who their message resonates with, we break it into 4 baskets. Basket number 1 is low-hanging fruit, that 250,000 of investable assets and down. Basket number 2 is 250 to 1 million. We call this the bread and butter basket. Most advisors like most aspects of the bread and butter basket. The next one up is 1 to 5 million, which we call high net worth. And the next one is 5 million and up. And for the sake of this, we call it ultra high net worth. I know that's not ultra high net worth, but from a marketing standpoint, it is. If I'm trying to get to 20 million, I'm at 8 or 10 million right now. Or if I'm at 30 million, I want to get to 50 million, okay, of new assets generated, whether that's insurance, life insurance, or AUM. I can't do it without the high net worth and the ultra high net worth basket. I can't. I could do it with all low-hanging fruit. I'd have to hire 10 more people and I'd be losing my mind, okay, with the amount of work that would need to get done to do it there. So I have to target and message and compel in a sophisticated manner high net worth and ultra high net worth couples and individuals to come out. And they do. And they do business. I tell everyone out there, imagine if you can get one $5 million client next year. One. What if you got a 5 million, a 2 million, and a 1 million? That's 8 million. All day long, every year, this client that wanted to move up got it from 3 clients.
I think this is a point that we should stay on for just a second, because what you just described is seminars in a nutshell. And I think too many advisors out there sometimes think that they have to close the entire room for.
Oh God, Jerry, I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
And in reality, the average is 1 to 3 clients per event hosted. Now the audience and the targeting that plays into the conversion ratio, but 1 to 3 clients out of 40 people in a room, and the economics are 3 and 4x of what they invested. And then the rest of it goes in their database.
More.
Exactly.
5x, right? It is utterly incredible to me. You know what, Jerry? Seminars have become like, it's just the same thing. Okay, for me, they're so flippin' sexy. The amount of revenue that you can generate, the amount of ROI, and it's forgotten. Okay, it's just simply forgotten sometimes. And we know we've had clients that are like, I just went away from it. Well, tell me about the last one. Well, it cost me about 10 or 12, and I think I made 42 or 48. You did a 4x return. You stopped doing. Why'd you stop doing them? You know what? I don't know why I stopped doing them.
Do you think the bands that have been around for a long time ever get sick of singing their hits?
Not when they look at their bank account.
There you go.
Not when they look at their bank account. Jerry, I'm at the end of this, but we're going to do this again. And I want to let everyone know that I'm going to get together with Jerry once a month. We're going to do a seminar focus just like this, passion, incredible look at the most remarkable marketing financial advisors can do. Live event marketing. Jerry, I don't care if it's a dinner seminar or college class. I don't care. Well, I care a little bit. If it's a social security seminar at the local community center, they all make money. It's just how much money do you want to make? How much do you want to invest? How much can you invest, right? So stick around. We're going to be doing a lot of these. Leading Response is going to be putting them out every month. Great information for everybody. Don't go anywhere, okay? You keep a lookout for us. Jerry, any final thoughts?
It doesn't just have to be for the advisor. Feel free to bring your staff as well.
Great point.
There's a lot of information and benefits that they'll take away from the Marketing Summit as well. So we look forward to seeing you in Tampa. Mark?
Yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up with, once again, March 18, 19, 20 in Tampa, Florida. It is a day and a half. 18th is the meet and greet. 19 is the full day. 20 is the half day. leadingresponse.com/summit. All your questions will get answered there, and you can register. There's only 50 seats, and once they're gone, they're gone. But I'll tell you what, if a few extra people show up, we'll pull in those chairs like we did last time. All good. Hey, thanks so much for being with us. Jerry, you're the bomb, buddy. I can't wait to do the next one. That was kind of complicated there. Am I going under? Am I going over? See you soon. Thanks so much. That's it for today's episode of the Marketing Mastery Podcast. I hope you leave more equipped, more encouraged, and more empowered to build a practice that reflects excellence and honors your calling. At MEG, we believe your business can be a beacon, one that leads with purpose, serves with heart, and grows with intention. Until next time, keep showing up boldly, serve your clients faithfully, and never forget that the gifts God placed in you were meant to multiply. Stay sharp, stay faithful, and as always, keep mastering your marketing. God bless.
You've been tuning in to the Advisor Marketing Mastery Podcast with Mark E. Gaffney. Until next time, command attention, own your narrative, and market with distinction.